Big ass technology. Big ass technology. Hey, boys. How we doing there? Okay, we've got Dino Man. What is that? What's going on?
The Dino Lucha Reba.
Oh, there he is.
I was waiting for you guys for a while there.
Luchasaurus.
And that was my jam.
That was a jam, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Welcome. What's going on, fellas? Welcome to the Kids on the Escalator podcast.
Thank you.
Hanging out, you know?
Thanks for having us.
Here's
Hey, look at this guy.
Hey, Chuck.
We got Chuck coming in.
The dark.
We got Chuck coming in. He's there. He's there. We're just waiting. Yeah, I sent everybody.
Chuck's been on before. Chuck showed us his. We had a section on pop culture toys and stuff, and Chuck was on for that, hanging out, showing his homies. There's his homies in the background.
Yeah, the homies.
All about my homies. Cool. Check, they got me this one time. Hold on.
Oh, we're back to it here. It's back to the toys. Everyone, grab your toys, quick. Here we go.
I think they got me this bobblehead.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks familiar.
There it is.
Wicked.
Hey, everybody. It's the
toys.
Kids on the Escalator podcast for a Tuesday night. We got a whole bunch of people today. We're filling windows. We're filling the windows.
Time.
That's Chris Machete up there, you know,
Hello.
co-host extraordinaire. We got Dusty. We got Chuck. We got Mr. D. We got the salads. One of the best.
What it is. With a lead singer that sounds exactly like he speaks. You ever hear that before? You get the singer. He's got the exact voice on that side.
Kind of like David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment.
You will, buddy.
Yeah.
David Wilcox is also like that. When we recorded him on the one record, he was on a sabbatical.
Yeah.
And so Dave and I went over there and we asked him, he said, what do you want me to do? And we thought, well, maybe you could play a little guitar. Oh, I haven't been playing guitar. I don't want to play guitar. Maybe you could sing. No, I haven't been singing. I don't want to sing. maybe you can just talk. And he just talked and it sounded just like his singing voice.
Yeah.
And that's on the record that we're here to talk about today.
That's on the one that followed this one.
Oh, the one that followed it.
Yeah.
That's right. Money. Wasn't Brian from My Mother Earth on that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
That's right. So there it is. We're here to talk about this record, though, which is one of my favorites from that time. I love this record very much. The big picture. It's 15 years, gentlemen. 15 years.
Holy cow.
I can see it in your beard, Brent. I can see it in your beard.
You can see it in my beard? It's been a long time. I can see it in your beard. Yeah. But anyways.
We're in this together.
We're all in it together. I spent some time with the fellas on tour over the years, which was a blast. And then Mr. D came and joined Chris in the studio on Chris's project, Chuck Caliber, which was a blast. Mm-hmm. And so there's a bit of history. It's awesome.
Hey, there it is right there. Look at
that. Discussion about that. Actually, we were trying to remember the very first tour we did with you. And
with me, I was.
Yeah.
I think it was probably with
Biff Naked.
It was probably with Biff.
It was
because you.
Or no, you know what? I bet you it was with the Mudmen.
Oh,
and we did like a van tour.
That would have been painful.
Each other in vans.
Was it the Mudmen? Yeah, it was. It was. That's exactly what it was, Chuck. We were like, was it Out of Your Mouth? Was he working with Out of Your Mouth? I don't remember.
Yeah, but that was on the Biff tour.
Yeah, that was on the Biff tour.
You were working.
Okay, so maybe it was Mudmen, but yeah, we have funny memories. We have memories of you driving really slow for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, because I got ticketed every single time I would leave Ontario. But anyways, probably.
But I thought we had a nickname for you or something, but I couldn't.
I don't remember it.
Come on, you guys can remember the nickname.
No, we tried.
Really? Oh, okay. I thought you were just being kind.
Yeah, no. We thought we were trying to reminisce and figure like some stories and some things from that time and how we met Brent. Yeah,
but it's so long ago and we have
memories are getting muddy.
So many good times since then, right? Good nights. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it's been pretty long journey.
But I do remember the Biff Naked tour because I've hung out with Brent for years, and plus I think Chuck and I talked about this maybe about how you guys didn't quite get along with the Biff Naked crew there, I think, but I think it was more because you were smoking them off the sage, wasn't it? Or am I incorrect here? Go ahead, guys.
They were great.
Right.
They were great. There was issues, but it wasn't with
the band.
With Biff.
Oh, tell us about it, my friend. Let me hear. Here we go. Let's hear it.
I'll let Chuck tell it because
Okay, cool.
he was our tour manager for that tour.
Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, you tell it, Chuck.
It was really difficult, and it's the music business. And if you look on the back of our DVD, it's actually the picture of the night we got kicked off that tour.
We quit. We did not get kicked off.
We didn't know yet.
See how much you could see how much fun we were having.
Yeah.
And, was that for this record? Was that part of this record? I don't know.
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I think it was that picture here.
I think it was. Hey, Mr. D, you're frozen a little bit, buddy. You might have to come back in.
It's true that. Yeah, there you are. There's the picture he's talking about.
I didn't know that was a lot. Really?
We had this picture, and we decided, and our designer just put it on the back of the DVD. And then we figured out after the fact that was our last night on the Biff tour.
Yeah, we didn't even know though at the time of that picture. While there were troubles that evening and problems that were happening, that's how we looked when we left the venue. We were having a good time.
Damn right.
It was all good, and we enjoyed it to the last minute. And I gotta say, we got a call the next morning saying that. We were kicked off the tour, like Chuck was saying, and Chuck and I went to Biff's performance and interview at Edge 102 because we knew the crew was going to be there, we knew the band was going to be there, and we wanted to shake hands and say thanks for having us on the tour. But for a number of reasons, it didn't work out. And we don't want to pat ourselves on the back, but we were kicking some ass on that tour on stage, and even with a gradual amount of limitations put on our stage show, we still had fun and we still kicked a lot of ass. And that doesn't work well for everybody.
Well, if I recall from that time, it was a Sault Ste. Marie. If I recall from that time, it was a matter of maybe there was some time issues there as well. I think there might have been at the beginning of it. There was a bit of like, I think they're killing it. Well, you got it, Grant. What do you got?
I remember now because we were in Thunder Bay, and our rider got cut short, so they took our Keiths and only left us the Molson Canadian, and we really wanted the Keiths. We were like, well, who's got it? And it went somewhere else. And we talked, the whole drive from Thunder Bay to Sault Ste. Marie. And we're like, I don't know if we can do this if they're going to take the Keiths away from us. And that was it. That was the last show. That's actually what happened. Like, we didn't actually get fired. We didn't get fired. What happened was we were just like, they can't. Well, who's drinking the Keiths then? And I mean, we only have 48 beers per show. Now we got 24, and we were like, are we going to make it back to Toronto? Because the Opera House was the next show after the Sioux, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And I don't know what show was on that night. It might have been the end. I don't want to be a dick. I'm joking. It was a fun time. It was a great tour. And when we got kicked off, I think we were kind of, it was like, oh, okay. And then we could go back to do what we were doing, but I don't know. It was it was
what
fun.
A crazy, silly thing to talk about, really. It was like a time in our career where we felt like we got treated very unfairly, but the rest of the time we had a great time.
It was awesome. It was fun.
It started with something with a thorn, right? There you go. Now it's all roses fired,
and we quit at the same time. So
you guys were rocking, awesome. Man. You guys, I remember, but it was interesting because of the divide between being from Toronto and then touring around the rest of the country. So that was an interesting one because Edge 102 was such a proponent of the salads. And I want to say Chorus existed then, yeah, but they were it was such a thing that you guys were so big in Toronto and these surrounding areas that when you got out to the Vancouvers and stuff of the world, you really had to battle to get those fans because I don't think you were played as much in those. And so that was like a very interesting thing to me because you guys were slaying it every single night, on tour in these markets that where Toronto was so big for the Salads and Edge 102, when those guys just played you guys and loved you guys, much music. You guys were much music, had some killer videos. It was awesome. But that was right at a time when that record had just hit, and some people were just being introduced to the band at that time as well.
So that would have been around 2003, right? Because that was really early on. So I think that would have been our first record.
I think you were playing some new songs, so I definitely think you were saying you're playing some new songs.
Yeah. Well, they picked up Get Loose, and it changed everything for us.
Yeah.
Everything. And Dean Blundell was huge. Martin Streak was huge. They were huge. It changed everything for us.
It was big. Much Music was everything back then. Everyone was breaking on Much Music. That's what you strove to. You guys, how long were you a band before Get Loose hit?
Since, I don't know, since we were little kids, man. Since we were like 11, 12 years old.
1986.
Yeah.
86?
1986. Yeah, we were little kids. In grade 7, we started our band. Yeah.
Wow.
Dinosaurs. We're rock and roll dinosaurs.
What was the first Van Halen song you covered? What was the first Van Halen song you guys covered?
I don't know if we ever.
I saw you guys do Hot for Teacher.
Summer Nights, but it was
Summer Nights?
That's embarrassing to say. It was this, and I love Sammy Hagar, but it was. Remember, Dave used to play that all the time. And Chuck, you did. You were the guitar player.
I used to play 5150 all the time, and we.
That's a great riff.
Feel Your Love because it's nice and easy, but we used to always rock. We did Hot for Teacher a lot, but we did. I don't know. What's the second track on Van Halen 1?
Ain't Talking About Love. How do you not know that?
Love. We play that a lot. I don't know.
Hey, I was just gonna say, where's Pfeiffer? Yeah.
Well, he was having some Chrome issues.
Yeah. Don't we all?
He's working on a trade for Eichel.
He's driving. You shouldn't be doing a podcast while we're driving. This isn't a podcast. Sorry.
It's not a podcast. No. Hey, Darren, welcome to the show, buddy. We're talking. We're regaling some. That's okay. You're live, caller.
Watch the road. Watch the road.
We were just talking. We just started bringing up the fact that you and Dusty used to beat the shit out of each other, and then you ended up playing in the band. Can you just kind of talk about that a little bit? Can you? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if you remember that part.
I don't remember ever getting physical with Dusty.
Not yet.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you were naked and I had a bunch of baby oil and we were alone in the room, I would experiment.
I do appreciate that. That's better than actual I
don't remember
no fisticuffs.
See?
How did you end up in the band, Darren? Darren, how did you end up in the band? How did you end up in the band? Because you wrote some songs with these guys, right? And then
I hired them.
Guys, give me 2 minutes. Give me.
He's got
to take some. I forgot even this. This is crazy that Darren did some production stuff with us on Big Picture songs. Remember, he used to hang out with us in rehearsal. And we used to work on those tunes with him.
We co-wrote "It's All Right" with him.
Yeah.
Oh,
holy crap!
Yeah.
Right.
And then Grant was leaving. Yeah. So we finished the record, and then Grant was leaving the band. He was just kind of done with it, and Pfeiffer was still there because he had done some co-writing with us and was helping us out and helping us try to find a new drummer. And then for about a year's time, that was a fella that whose nickname was Legs. His real name is Ryan Leger, and he's all over Instagram and such, and plays with a ton of touring metal bands.
Monster.
Every Time I Die, and Chuck, name a few of the other ones that he's still.
Norma Jean and 100 Sons, and it's all amazing. He's got a band called Teeth nowadays. He's amazing. But we were a drummers band, and so it was like where Grant's crazy great drummer. So it's like
irreplaceable
up to par like that. So Pfeiffer can kind of play his drums pretty good, and same with Legs, and so it's a natural fit. and we were lucky to have all those guys. Oh my God, so lucky.
Crazy.
Yeah, remember Grant? Remember that
Yeah.
there was? I think we were backstage at one show. I remember you were asking me for drum tips, and I was like, I just didn't have the time. But you turned out pretty good, didn't you?
Well, I
Yeah,
just
those-
like, can you drum faster than you drive?
That's
And
right.
we were like, I can. And
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Chris, when was the first time you saw the Salads? You remember? See the band?
I don't. It's all a blur to me now. I really can't remember the very first time. I've seen you guys play a lot though, so I can't remember the very
You guys,
first
what do you
time
guys
now.
remember from the Southern Ontario scene from playing Oshawa, all that kind of stuff, some of those venues? Because man, what a scene it was, and you guys broke right when that scene was hopping.
Oshawa.
Well,
The dungeon!
you don't
Yeah,
have to talk
the
about
dungeon,
Oshawa, but there was
The
that
dungeon.
Southern Ontario scene where the bands were breaking along there. What do you guys remember
Oh,
from
yeah,
that
we
time?
played a lot of dirty basements and amazing clubs that are now gone. That,
Front 54, St. Catharines. And
Oh yeah, you know what? Front 54, that was a 97.7 baby, wasn't it?
yep.
Didn't they used to love that
And-
shit? Front 54 and Thorold. That was where that was.
I don't remember so many places, but I don't know why.
It's
If
funny,
you
me too.
zoom in on those posters over
I can
Chuck's
barely
shoulder
remember
there.
the places I've played recently. It's-
No. Have you guys now playing together at all right now? Are you guys rehearsing together at all? I know Grant, you're out here, so it's tough to
Yeah.
fly in. But are you guys still making new music together or trying to remotely?
not
Chuck's,
in a long time.
no. We'd like to. I think we'd all really, really like to.
Yeah.
It's Dave's between Florida and he's building a house up in, can I say this? Yeah, of course. So he's building a house up north near Collingwood, and he's got a place in Florida. Chuck's out in what's the name of the place? It's beautiful. Sorry.
Prince Edward
Where do you live?
Prince
Where do you
Edward
live, Chuck?
County.
Where do you live, Chris?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Darren's out in Stratford. I'm in Kimberley, British Columbia. Darren's in Los Angeles. So we've been talking about it, and then COVID hit, and
Oh, we did a thing with Mikey at the beginning of COVID. We
Yeah.
did up one of the
Oh, yeah.
Mikey and Duke things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Stuff
our
in-
boy Mikey Hodden in the Fairmounts, and otherwise known as Mikey and his uke, has been doing a lot
Yes.
of videos with a lot of more famous musicians than us. But when he was first started to do it, he did a version of Get Loose with us, and yeah, it was awesome. But wouldn't a version of the Salads with two drummers, with these two
Well, I was
fucking
just gonna
guys, with
suggest-
particularly?
I was just going to suggest that you should probably think about going out with two drummers.
That's already been thought about, and all that
Did we get
stuff.
three?
It's really just the missing piece that's not in the picture tonight here too.
I've always said
I
that
wish there were
there's
replacements
not
for all
enough
of us.
drummers
We
in a
could do
band.
8.
What's that, Chuck?
Right.
I said I wish there were replacements for all of us, and then we could do 8. Two
Hey, Chuck.
dueling bassists and drummers. You know?
It turns out there probably is.
Two guys swinging towels.
Yeah.
Chuck, what's with you? Hey, Chuck, what's with you playing with bands with a whole bunch of different people in it? All right, because I Mother Earth have 2 singers. I had 2 singers. You got 3 drummers in this band. What's going on? Maybe
I know
Maybe
they're
this is a-
falling off
maybe this
all
is a
around
Chuck-
me, eh? All
maybe this
around
is a
me. It's
Chuck
just like a
problem.
wasteland.
I think it's
Like a
just
wasteland, dropping off like flies.
it's not a problem. It's an aging thing. It's an aging musician thing. Like
Yeah.
once you've been playing for so long, you're fortunate enough to have played with so many people, and bands don't all stick together. Different parts move around.
yeah.
You know, it's particular. I'm Mother Earth, the singer being the case there, and Pfeiffer is back.
There we go. We got him back.
Eyes on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, gentlemen.
So we're talking.
Hey,
Get
buddy.
my earbuds to work.
Don't you love tech?
One
Don't you
second.
love the internet?
Oh yeah.
It's
Good
going
one.
again.
He's gone.
This is the part right here.
He's gone again. Anyways,
We're
yeah.
gonna-
So anyways,
We're gonna get pieces together.
I don't know
This
what
is
he's
what it
doing. I
has
don't know
to be.
where he's gone or
We're
what's
gonna
happening.
make up our own sentence out of little words he said. What a great band!
when you live in Los Angeles, there's not a lot of Wi-Fi. You know, there's not a lot of entertainment there.
They steal it up.
Yeah, it's hard to get that.
Not
good
sure
Wi-Fi.
what's going on in LA, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Darren's.
I need to just. I know it doesn't really matter, but I will say that when I did leave the band, the reason was it was purely management. So I want to put that out there. It wasn't a personal thing. I know it doesn't. Nobody cares, but it wasn't personal, and it was one of the hardest decisions I made. I just couldn't deal with it at the time, and over the years, in hindsight, I regret, the way that I approached it. But I shouldn't have, but I did. And, and when they came out with the record after that record, I remember listening to that record because I met the guys to do I think we did a show somewhere, and I got to rehearse with them, and Chuck showed me the record. And I was so frustrated because I went, this was the record this is the best record we made. And I wasn't involved. And it was Pfeiffer. And seriously, like I really, truly, I loved it so much, and I was happy, but it was just like, I had to get out, and it wasn't a personal thing or anything. It was like, cause like I said, we started playing in public school through high school, whatever. It was, the best experience of my life, and it was just, when I left, it was just because I couldn't deal with what was happening after we did the Warped Tour. We did that Warped Tour, and, we'd go to a city and we didn't have rooms, and we'd be sleeping in the vans. We weren't making money. You got to, and that's fine. That's the way it is. But yeah, it was just rough, but I just want to put it out there. It had nothing to do with the band. That's it. I just want to put it out there because I don't think I've ever.
Is that breaking news? Is that breaking news?
No, probably not. But I don't think I've ever said it because I was out of the band. There was no point to talk about it, and nobody cares. So I just wanted out because I thought we were being misrepresented, and the guy that was in charge at that point was a douchebag. So there it is. Said it.
Yeah.
Darren, you tell the story. Darren, tell the stories.
I don't waste my time talking about those.
No, not you.
Things.
The other Darren.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you.
What?
He was the one talking to Trump. I mean, who was our manager at the time? Sorry, I just look at him the same way.
This is the ISO cam on Darren driving, by the way. Yeah, go ahead, Darren.
You really got to watch where you're going now. Now I see the background moving.
What was his name? I don't even remember his name anymore. That's weird.
Yes, you do.
So good. No, I actually don't. I'm actually
really like
RJ. It was RJ,
right? Because
no, I didn't. It wasn't RJ. It was another guy, Jake. Anyway, we'll leave it at that.
Jake Gold.
Jake the Snake.
hey, I would
Gold,
say
right?
this stuff all really distorts all the true good shit.
Yeah.
The good shit for me about this record is making the record. So to remember that we were doing tunes with Pfeiffer at Cherry Beach for the big picture is a really cool memory to remember. That's sort of how we first started working with you on music, right? You remember doing that?
I would come down to the studio as a big fan of the band, big fan of the light show, big fan of all the guys, became friends with them really fast. And all of a sudden, during the course of me showing up at the rehearsal studio, it was, hey, I got this song. Hey, we got this song. Want to check out this song? And then I didn't necessarily write as arranged. I would just give a couple of suggestions on how I thought how this should go or how that should go. Next thing we know, there was like 15, 20 songs ready to be recorded. And I guess those became the big picture.
Yeah, because really, when I think about that record, it's always about, I don't think about all the garbage shit with all like the business people who are trying to sell it. I think about I think about the music that we make, because the music's really amazing, right? Like,
Yeah.
we worked really hard on that, and so many of those tunes are about things that are like really personally deep for us, but then the music itself was really constructed in a way where we were thinking about the way the crowd was going to react to it.
Yeah.
Which is a cool memory. I remember doing like Individual and thinking about how we wanted the crowd to move in front of us and how we wanted them to bounce at a certain point and how we wanted them to be able to sing along with us at certain points and how we wanted them to just go completely crazy for a bit. So we wanted to create sort of a tension and release with our crowd when we were making this record, from my memory. And it's really, that's the cool part about it, is the music itself is really well thought out. It's our most well thought out music I think we ever made.
Yeah, that's true, Chuck. I never thought of it that way.
We spent the most amount of time on it and spent the most amount of care on it. Like,
and Chris loved your Van Halen stuff, man. Chris loved, I mean, we always like, man, these guys are fucking killing this thing. In live, it was such a killer band too.
I always thought it was just going to be a pop record, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, that one, there's like there's stuff on it we still never could play, right? That we did in the studio. There's some sort of triplet thing, cha 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 cha, in a tune we could never do that was super fast. Or there were songs we never played on that record, right?
Just like, one. There's only one song. One song on the record we've never played before, and that's Thick and Thin.
That's my favorite song on the record.
And that's one where I don't think we could ever sing that turnaround that's at the end of the song, but I would have loved to have tried. I know we would have tried.
Yeah.
How to do it.
Yeah.
But it's
my favorite. You know what?
Just really, really well thought out music, man.
Man.
It really was.
I think like my fondest memories of this record was planning. We kind of we really set out to do a rock record because everybody was wanting us to do everything but that. So it, like Chuck's saying, it ended up really being a I don't want to say selfish record, a selfish record that has ended up helping a lot of people, because we wrote a lot of songs for ourselves, like to help ourselves during times of struggle, personal, business, family. There's a song on the record that Chuck wrote lyrics for about his grandmother. There's another song I wrote about my grandfather passing, but don't.
You're
but
right, Darren, I never really thought of that.
And we start the whole record off with growing up, so it's kind of like it's personal, yet still trying to be fun, but leaning more on the rock side of things, because the personal side just sort of emoted that kind of heaviness, if you will. But there's still a bit of goofiness on it, like the track that we titled "Thanks for Nothing, Fuckers" officially, but it was never actually put in there as the hidden track of thank yous that we did on there, just having fun.
Never heard a band do that before.
You know what? You're right, Darren. I never really thought of that. Lyrically, the record's really inward, but like musically, it was super outward. Where we were just focused on hitting people, but it was like, but lyrically, it was super inward. That one.
It was like self-healing that ended up helping other people. I've heard so many things from fans. Just thankful for us keeping them positive or moving them forward with that record in particular, where Full Day to Be before that had some of those songs, but it was more party, we're here to kick some ass kind of a focus. It was just fun. We were having so much fun, and that's what that record did. And this one, there's a lot of pressure on us too to produce an album of Get Looses, and we sure as fuck were not about to do that.
So we did it the record after that on our own.
But then we did it on our own, Later on, when people are telling us what to do, we tend to stray away from that.
I think if you're a fan of the band and you know the albums, we probably could have used a record full of "Do Your Homework" and "Eat Your Broccolis," but that was unfortunately. Maybe we could have done that when we all had the kids at a young age. And happy birthday, Jasper! Holy jeez, he's 18 years old. When I saw that today, I was like, we were in Jasper, you know, like when all of that was going down, I was like, all I picture is you and Darren sitting in that chair, and we were videotaping it, and I can't believe we've got kids that are almost 20 now. That's unbelievable. So happy birthday, Jasper. That's amazing.
If you guys don't know what they're talking about, my son turned 18 today, but I was the first
happy
guy
birthday,
in the band.
dude.
Yeah, I was the first guy in the band to have kids. But
There he is, right
That's
there.
awesome.
That we know of.
yeah. But during Big Picture, I found out about my second kid getting born.
Oh
I
my
love this
God.
ride. 15 years of the Big Picture. It's hard to believe it. That record is so sonically fantastic. Who produced it, by the way?
That was Dan Broadbeck and us as a band with Dan, and then it was who
Aaron.
we mixed that ourselves as well with Dan. We did that all, and then but I'm trying to remember who mastered it. It was the guy that works with Sting, and he produced that. He produced.
He
that
did
really good
Synchronicity. He did
produced that really
Synchronicity
good
in
record
Montreal.
with Alexis on Fire too. I can't remember his name now.
Oh
He
my
passed away
gosh.
recently.
Oh, Nick
But anyways,
Blagona.
his ears were really
Yes.
something.
Nick Blagona.
Yeah.
Nick
Wow.
Blagona, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was just something we worked really hard on. We lived in London at a really shitty hotel down the street. I can't remember what that was called. They were kind of
Embassy
crappy
Suites.
apartments that we lived in. The suites. The suites. That's right. They weren't
Embassy.
so sweet. They
No.
weren't so sweet at all. And we would, but we could walk. We could walk to the studio from there, and yeah, I don't know. That's basically we built it by just spending a lot of time on it.
It
Yeah,
turns out you
exactly.
could find love at the Embassy Suites as well. So, I mean,
Tell us about
You know.
those stories, Grant.
no, I'm just saying, hey, there's nothing wrong with love, man. Okay.
Chris, do you remember that? You grew up in London. You grew up in London,
Yeah, I grew
Ingersoll.
up near London there. Yeah. London was became a lot rougher now, apparently, from what I've heard from talking to people. But when I was younger, I don't know. I was just younger though. I went to White Oaks Mall, get Star Wars toys, that kind of thing. I was really young. I didn't really see the music scene then. That's why I moved to Toronto after that.
London was a huge place for us.
I love
it was
London.
Massive for us.
Now, this is a pop culture podcast. Chris loves to crack out the MCU and DC references. So Chris has a question usually for everybody on this show. as
Oh, I
to
didn't
what
gear one
side-
up for them.
What side of the fence they're
I
on.
just ask you individual stuff because
Yeah. What side of the fence are they on? Like, I'm the only. I'm
the
always
DC.
I'm always the only DC guy.
I
on this
never asked
fucking
that
show.
question.
I'm always the only DC guy on this fucking show.
Okay, so just to not talk about music for just a second. Okay, so Mr. D, what are 3 albums that you got to listen to on vinyl that digital just does not do them service?
This could take like 20 minutes.
Oh no, we can come back to you.
Yeah, we'll table that.
We can come back to you.
It's so fun to listen to vinyl in the basement, and all of it sounds better.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Even better. I'll grab the records while these guys answer.
Okay, perfect. I love it.
Perfect.
I love it. Okay, L.A. Darren.
Yeah.
How do you fix the Sabres, brother? What do you got to trade Eichel? What's going on, or what's the heart of the trouble there?
Move them to Hamilton.
Move him to Hamilton? Actually, I think that would be a good idea. Send him off. That's how you fix it. Okay, buddy. I get
That's
it. All right. Chuck, how's the garden growing, and what do you got going on this year?
I'm only working on my soil right now, and I grew a really nice garden of vegetables last year. You know this. And
I do. Yeah.
Very nice big pot plants, and but I also signed up. I live in Prince Edward County, and I'm surrounded by farms. And I started getting bags of vegetables from a farm down the street, and it's so much in abundance that I had way too much, and I didn't want to pass up on all the awesome stuff they grow. So this year, my gardens are all I have water systems through the garden that are all timed and stuff.
Nice.
And I've never taken the opportunity to grow my pot plants in these gardens before, and this year I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really stoked because I did one last year and it turned into a monster and it was beautiful. And this year I'm doing all 4 in this one garden. No veggies because I'm getting them down the street. So
Right on. Gardening in Ontario.
Chuck and I have a very elusive group that we started a few years ago of collective cannabis growers and cannabis enthusiasts that we've nicknamed Weeded Wisdom.
Nice, I like that.
And so we share all of our knowledge, and so shout out to the other Weeded Wisdom brothers.
Right on. Yeah, cheers, fellas. Cheers. I was partaking at the beginning there. All right, Senior hung like a horse.
what?
Well, it turns out that they found my OnlyFans profile. So yeah.
So are you into Marvel or DC movies or any of the pop culture stuff like that?
I enjoy them. I like them a lot, but nah.
What's your one pop culture geek thing that you kind of see? I collected comic books as a kid, and I kind of had to hide it because my friends would have beat me up.
I'll tell you. I'll answer. Can I answer that for you, Grant?
Yeah, I know where you're gonna go.
It's a 4-letter word that starts with K.
Kiss.
Totally
Right there. Oh, that's me too, buddy. And another thing that I used to get beat up as a kid was because I was a Kiss fan, man. Kids used to beat me up because of that and make fun of me. It was not good.
You got comic books. You got to fight back.
I tried, dude. I'm not a big dude either. I'd have to have a
neither am I, but I had a bigger brother that beat the crap out of me. So I
still got all the albums from the original, man. I got the inserts, all that stuff. My parents.
You got the originals. Oh,
yeah.
I had the pinball machine. I had
I don't have that. Oh.
Yeah, no, I sold it for $400 to pay rent when I was 19 years old, and that's I made a lot of mistakes, but that's
the holy grail. That's the holy grail, man.
Yeah,
it's so funny, Grant. When you look at your life from the time you were born to today, you look at selling the Kiss pinball machine as one of your life's biggest regrets.
Yeah. Darren, the thing is, you make a lot of good decisions. And, the big ones stand out, and that was one of them. So, that hands down, that might, I'm trying to think of it. I haven't made a lot of mistakes. You guys know.
Well, you got some fans because Adam here says that Grant, your OnlyFans subscribers are actually just one person.
I know. I hate social media. I'm not on it all the time, but you know what? It's no, I don't know. I'm a huge Kiss fan, so if there's
exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah,
I'm a nutcase, and my daughter now. This is weird. She'll put it on, she'll stream it, but she's singing the songs she's singing Heaven's on Fire from 1984. Right. And I'm like, and then she loves I Was Made for Loving You. I'm like, no, but Dynasty, I can't say that because she's
Well, you got to let her find her own way through the Kiss libraries, man.
Yeah, I know. I just want her to go to Creatures of the Night, and that's the one. There it is. Saint and Sinner and Creatures of the Night, and those would be the ones I'd be really excited about.
Grant, how old is she?
She's 9. 9 years old.
Well, thank God, just to God, she's not changing the words to I was born for TikTok videos. You were born for Instagram. I am born for Facebook, baby. Find me on Instagram. I'm going to send you a hashtag for you, baby. And then you can tag me.
What is it going to be when she's 18? That's what I want to know. Or maybe I don't want to know.
It'll be Right Said Fred or
Hey, Chris, I got some records here.
There they are.
Let's see them, buddy. What do we got?
Okay, so, well, of course, I couldn't quite pick one Bob Marley record.
Oh, nice.
So you just get the whole box.
Wow, look at that.
Right? But if I really had to force myself to pick, Exodus is the one you gotta just sit with and listen to.
Exodus.
It's a Bob box.
Now, Grant, you would have thought I would have picked a Fishbone record, and
Pantera, Van Halen,
and I didn't. But let's go back further to this unbelievable soundtrack.
Wow.
To an amazing movie out of Jamaica that's like a fictional story of a bunch of musicians playing themselves. And it's kind of a who's who in reggae. Killer movie, amazing soundtrack. It's like the best reggae collection that exists. And then this new album from D'Angelo is unfuck-wittable. Like, nothing sounds like this. No one's making music like him. And to listen to this on vinyl is... Yeah, you just got to understand it. It's just it's got so many layers to it, and I love sitting down with that one and cranking it.
Beautiful.
Quiet, you know what I mean?
I love it.
I'm actually writing that down.
Oh, what? You haven't heard that yet?
No. Dude, I haven't listened to anything new for almost 15 years.
But you know the Voodoo record. You remember freaking out about that one before?
Yes,
like
I do, but I haven't.
And Questlove, and it's a crazy.
I'm a huge Joey Landreth fan. I mean, that's the one that just stays. Like, I got his records basically are on repeat for almost the last 6 months. I love his music so much. I love his guitar playing. I love his band. But that's right now. That's where my head's at right now, and it makes me happy. So it's like it's healthy for me to just stick with that. But now I've written that down. I believe in you, and I know it's good. I just have to listen to it. So.
Oh man.
Well,
I listen to new music.
Mr. D's the go-to Friday night release guy.
Yeah.
The Friday release guy. Every day, Mr. D's like this, and every single time Weezer releases a record, he also puts a cursive beside it.
So. I did that only once with their new record, just because. Listen, I have a handful of Weezer records on that shelf, and I've been a fan for so long. I've seen them a handful of times, and I've taken my son to see them a handful of times, even like the first few rock shows he's ever gone to. But their last 4, 5 records, I'm like, go back to the Shack. I don't want to hear any more like 80s remixes and stuff like that. It's tired. I'm tired of them. There's so much more to listen to. Shit, man. Fuck. Let me get the new crate.
Yeah, it never ends. Darren's always the go-to. They go to his site every single day. What's out this week? What Darren playing?
Yeah, he's on it.
It's good.
He's got his finger on the pulse. He's got the finger on the pulse. Weezer, New Jack died, the wrestler, and the Weezer Rivers sings about him in one of those songs.
You don't need to pay any attention to the new Weezer record. When the Boss Tones have a new record out, it's so good. It's so good. I'm not even pulling your leg. It's crazy good. Our buddies in the Fairmounts have a new record. Mike,
I lost you guys. Sorry, guys.
Wicked record.
It's all good. They were just trying to figure out how to make a new record.
New stuff.
It's easy. Trust me, they've done it a couple times.
Right, Pfeiffer?
Public Enemy.
Not as good, though. Pfeiffer.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like
yeah,
the guests on here, George Clinton, Cypress Hill, Mike D and Ad Rock of the Beastie Boys, Run DMC, Black Thought of the Roots, Nas, Questlove, Ice-T, PMD. That's crazy.
I've heard No Kip Winger, Dana Strum, Tom Kiefer.
The Great Cat. Remember the Great Cat?
The Great Cat. Yeah, the Great Cat.
Ingwe
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's amazing, Chris.
What was I going to say?
So much stuff. Oh, sheesh. Great. Some great reggae.
Hilarious guitar.
Oh yeah. Oh, Chuck. Right?
Oh yeah, that's a great record. That sounds great too. That's a great.
You don't have to ask too many questions with this band.
That's great.
It's all great. No, you guys are doing the thing. When's the last time you guys were
I knew vinyl would trigger
together?
you though, buddy. I knew when I mentioned vinyl it would trigger you, and we'd be like,
Sorry.
I could just kick back and drink my beer, and we can take over, man. Good job.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I knew it. That's good.
You kicked the trigger.
That's
for
good.
sure.
I wanted to say something earlier, and I know Chuck will understand this. Darren knows good music, okay? Mm-hmm. And he introduces us to a lot of amazing stuff. but I've also been on a lot of very, 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 very long drives where Darren's in charge of the radio, and not everybody is 100%. But can I just say this? There were 4, but really 3 bands, maybe records, that we could play as a band on a 12-hour drive that nobody would complain about.
True.
All right, I'm going to name one. I want Chuck to name one, and I want Darren to name the other.
Nice.
So I'm going to name number 1, and that was Pantera.
Yes.
Chuck.
Yeah.
Which record,
I
though?
don't know.
Which record?
I would,
Didn't
I
matter.
would guess that you're going for like a Fishbone or a Van Halen or something, but
Those were the 2. It was true. It was Pantera,
Boom.
Fishbone, and that was it. Those were the bands that nobody would say a word, even
I was
Zimba.
gonna say,
And Zimba's the
say
worst.
Police. I was going to say the Police.
That's number.
Police.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, nobody would complain about that.
Well, then you know what? The only one that I remember as far as being a newer band and a newer album that actually worked that you guys didn't mind listening to was this one.
Who's that?
That RX Bandits.
I was gonna say Queens of the Stone Age, maybe, but
Hey, you know what another one was Mute Math. Remember, because we just the way we found out about them.
it wasn't me. I wasn't
Together.
in that band. But
Yeah,
they are great. But it wasn't me. Back then, I would have just been like, "That's not what I want to listen to." I would have been a dick about
Is
it.
this when you were doing backflips off the bed there, Dusty, or is this?
I never.
in between?
You know what? I work at a hotel now, and I fix that kind of stuff. I would never do something like that.
Hey, Grant. Early on
Listen
in the
to-
Goldfinger days, when we would tour, we toured in a van for a very short period of time before we got signed and off to races. But Goldfinger had a similar hierarchy of bands that we would all agree on. And for Goldfinger, it was Jane's Addiction.
Mm-hmm.
We all loved Jane's Addiction. We all loved Pantera.
Mm-hmm.
We all loved Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
But then there were a few bands that they would all love that I would hate. Like they all loved Hole. They thought Hole was the best band ever. And I'd be like, I don't want to hear Hole. And they're like, well, we're gonna play a Hole tape. I'm like, well,
Gross.
I'm just gonna scream the whole time. And they would scream Hole. And Grant, I would make this noise for the whole time. I don't care how sore my throat got. I would go. He's gonna tire out, and I go. And then finally, all right.
And the sky is filled with amethyst.
Oh, so good.
That's awesome.
I wish I had thought of that every time I hated something.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Darren Pfeiffer, you were on the radio forever, still are with a great show. But what about when you got stuck playing this shit you didn't like? You couldn't scream like that over the radio.
There were 2 bands I played on the Edge that when I played it, I would make some crack comment, and that was Hole and Live. And Live.
Yeah, they stink.
So
Yeah.
I'd be like, 102.1 The Edge. That is music from Live, and what's it called? I Alone. I Alone.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I'm really sorry, everybody. The time is 7:45. I got yelled at. I got yelled at all the time. I go, 102.1. And Alan Cross.
I'm sorry, but you
Hey, Darren, you might not want to make noises after you play one of our biggest artists.
But did Goldfinger and Live ever share a festival thing, like where they were on there somehow on the same weekend as you or Hole? And
Yeah, we did.
and you-
We did actually. And Hole. And I would go into Live's dressing room when they were playing live and steal all their food and booze. I thought I was so brazen. I would bring a cart to the door and load up all their wine and food and sandwiches and liquor, and I would cart it down the hallway so I could easily get caught. And I'd bring it to the bus and throw it in the bus, and everyone's like, "Why do we have all this extra food?" I'm like, "It's holes, or it's live."
They gave it to us.
I also wasn't a gigantic fan of Our Lady Peace, so I did it to them too.
Was that when you were with us?
Possibly, yeah. And then Our Lady Peace would come into 228 Yonge Street for an interview, and I'd be like, "Hey, it's Rain Mina here from the Our Lady Peace talking about their show tonight at Massey Hall or whatever. Hey, Rain, I'm sorry for stealing all your liquor in Cleveland." and he'd look at me and go, I would tell a story, a brief explanation, and he goes, "That was you?" Every time you played, I robbed your shit. And I didn't go for your store. So by the end of the tour, I had bottles and bottles and cases and food and all kinds of stuff to restock my kitchen.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
I love it.
So that's how the salads learned it. Yeah.
Just keep asking Darren questions.
I got a great salad shenanigan story. They told me they took a shit and put it in a bowl or something and put it on the choice of not by choice.
No. Let me tell this story.
No.
Was it not by choice?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was.
I was with Darren when that happened. And so I'll try to make this as quick. I'm going to make it quick. So we're driving up to Sault Ste. Marie to do a show. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm telling this story. And
Make it quick.
Why did this happen? I don't know. But for some reason, we pulled over to get lunch. And then Darren at some point took a dump in what his sandwich styrofoam thing was. I don't know why.
And I still don't know why we ever got kicked off tour.
Right. Fair enough. But it was worth it because this is funny. And so anyway, we get to the show, and on the way, when we were done, everything's whatever. I remember I was with Darren because Darren and I were staying, and he goes, "Hold on a minute," and he went and he got the poop package, and he put it into the tour bus that Not By Choice had, but he didn't do it on purpose. I know you didn't do it on purpose where you put it. We didn't know. We don't know the way the workings go. But he put it in the intake for the air conditioner.
Oh,
okay?
yes.
So they were driving home the next day, and we're getting texts like crazy, like, "What the fuck did you guys do? What did you do? Why would you do this to us?" And we wouldn't say a word about it. So what happened was they pulled over because the smell in the bus was so bad. And then the driver got out, and they're all looking out the windows. And Glenn was the one that I think got in touch with us. And he said the driver opened up the back piece of the whatever it is, the back thing in the tour bus, and he pulled out the box. They all saw it, and he opened it, and then he just started puking. He threw it, and he just stared puking. It's probably like with the heat and everything, it probably melted, and it was terrible. But yeah, way to go, Darren, because that was probably one of the greatest things you ever did on tour.
I want to get Liam on this show to figger out how in the hell he would. I want to get Liam on this show.
He's got the mask on. That wasn't me.
We denied it forever, Brent, and then we were on the edge for some interview, and it might have been with Martin Street, and he asked us if we had
5 years later,
any road stories that we've never told, and we were like, I think it's time. And we told this story, and
on the air.
We told it. We started getting texts from those guys. You asshole!
You know what I want though? I want to get Liam. I want to get Liam on the show to explain how in the hell he was able to pull off getting Not By Choice a bus. Let's just start with that
41
story.
bus, right?
One day.
That's
why we were angry. That's why we did it. I think we were pissed because we're like, why do they have a tour bus? And Darren's like, no. Why do they have a tour bus?
No. It wasn't like that at all. It wasn't like that. I just wanted to fuck with them.
Yeah, no. Stop band and
number one.
Across the country, back and forth. They got us. We got them.
You know what? Yeah. Those guys are awesome, and we did so many shows together. and we messed with each other's bands so much back and forth. So it was kind of like it was just a normal thing. As weird as it is, it was normal for us to kind of fuck with each other so much. But that was the icing on the cake, and I've never done anything like that before or after that. But but I wouldn't take. It was hilarious. I wouldn't take it back for the world.
Do you remember when we got kicked out of the dressing room at the Blue Light Motel in Collingwood when we were opening for Finger 11?
No.
Okay, we were me and Dave, I think, were throwing bottle caps over the the curtain to Finger 11's dressing room because we were just being dicks, but we wanted to meet them and party with them. And next thing you know, we got kicked out of our dressing room.
Damn.
Like, you guys got to go. We're out. And we got kicked out. And I asked them about it. And they're like, we never even went to the dressing room. So, it had nothing to do with them. And that's the one where the girl, it was from American Pie. If you looked her in the eye, you would get kicked out. It was really crazy. That was a real story, too.
Yeah,
you don't make eye contact. If you make eye contact, you're out.
I hear Kevin James is kind of like that. If you're around Kevin James somewhere, you can't really talk to him and stuff.
That's weird.
Not that I run into Kevin James on a regular basis or anything.
Well, we'll find out.
I think it's kind of common. I know J-Lo. There's a story of a flight attendant that got fired for looking at J-Lo.
You know J-Lo?
No, I know, but
She's
I
in the
remember
back.
a story. Heard a story that
She's
a
totally
flight
like that,
attendant got fired.
Pfeiffer. She did an in-store when I used to work at HMV on Yonge Street. And that was the only time there was like a red carpet from the front of the store to the back, and it was covered in plastic, and nobody was allowed to step on it that day and whatever. And it came off right before she was the only one to walk on this carpet from the front to the back of the store, and all that kind of don't look her in the eye stuff. That prima donna weirdness, say.
Yeah. I had that on Madonna. I had a Madonna thing, but then, there's 8,000 people backstage trying to come up to her. So I get it. I get it from the standpoint of like, fuck, I don't want to, this is pre-pandemic. I don't want to speak or touch anybody. Now it's going to be, now every band.
That'll be worse.
You know what though, Brent? That's because you're an asshole.
I am. I'm fucking over it. I'm just, Dusty, I'm fucking over it. It's fucking, don't come near me. Fuck. I'm drinking coffee.
I'm upset that people still look at me in the eye every single day. It's just like there's days where I'm just kind of like, nobody today.
You're not going to have that problem where you live now, just because there's 9 people there. So
it happens. It happens all the time. If I've got a man bun in here and I don't wear camouflage, that's a whole other story. But
gentlemen, final takeaways of the record. I mean, fantastic album. I love Circles. I listen to it daily, weekly. It's part of my rotation. So final takeaways from this fantastic album.
It's
from you guys.
I'm proud of. Worked really hard on it. And thanks for having us on and talking about it because nobody else did. It's great.
Yeah, man. No, we appreciate it. It's nice to reminisce and go back to 2006 and what we did. I mean, even we didn't mention this, but even soon after that, it was released in Japan as well too, and they threw this version through Get Loose. They put Get Loose on here and Unhappy and Rough Kung Fu, and Who's That Cat actually too. But I
love Rough Kung Fu.
That's the version that the Japanese fans got.
That's cool. Gotta like that.
I wish I had that copy. I wish I had a copy of it.
You need a copy of the record, Grant?
No, I haven't had a copy for way too long. And I actually just texted Chuck to say, can you send me a link to the record? Because I don't have it. I can't find it anymore. So,
it's on the internet now. You can steal it, no problem. So,
yeah, well, I don't know. I'll buy it. I'll buy it, okay? I'll even buy my own music.
Another one we forgot to mention is for those of you who've noticed that it's not on Spotify right now, we're working on getting it back up there. We just want to remaster the thing. It was never meant for streaming purposes, so just remaster it a bit and maybe even throw a bonus song or 2 on there as well.
How about a new song? I'd love it. Enjoy a new song.
That's ambitious.
We have so much stuff that we never released, right?
It's nice. You guys are getting a lot of love on the side of the page here. I don't know if you guys can see it all, but it's like the Salads were and are one of the most fun-loving and humble bands ever. So much talent. Thanks, Brent and the band. Great hearing those stories, fellas. Grant, do the next one with your shirt off.
Thank you, Paula.
There
Not
you go.
anymore.
You knew who that was. and then
If you guys noticed, though, it is the shirt from the album cover. So, or not from the album cover. Like, this
Oh
is
my
the lyrics.
gosh.
Play Dead. Check it
Yeah,
out.
wow.
It still fits.
Wow.
Yeah, what a trip.
And I could
Take
take
it
my
off.
shirt off, but I'm
Take
not
it
going to.
Take it off. Take it off.
Stop
Awesome.
it.
Yeah, Michelle,
You're
David,
driving.
Danny.
I'm not going to do that to you.
Paula, Adam, all you guys, thanks for tuning in to hour one with the gents here. Where can everybody find you online? Let's send you to all the spots. Go ahead, Mr. D, you first.
Instagram at MISTADD. And yeah, all kinds of stuff going on, but check it out there. I don't need to talk about me. But I do want to say, in a last little 2 cents, it's super awesome seeing all of your face. Put everybody's faces back on there if we could.
Oh, you
for a
want
second.
everyone's faces?
Yeah, I want
All
to
right,
see everybody.
Let's put them all
it's-
back up here. Sure.
It's been awesome seeing all you guys. I fucking miss y'all so much. Even Grant and Chuck and Dave as well, and Pfeiffer as well. Pfeiffer PhD.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a trip of a bunch of years for everybody, and but shit, man. I hope we can all see each other in person again before
That'd be
too
great.
long.
It really goes back.
But you know what?
to that,
And
too. Yeah.
if someone can rein Zimba in somehow,
We've
we're
been
all
trying.
still alive. Nothing's
Yeah.
impossible. So some sort of reunion in some form, whether it's recording or live or a barbecue, is all in the
Nice.
cards.
Michelle
it's doable,
Cross.
you know?
Michelle Cross just commented she would love to see a reunion and great album. Thanks for the awesome interview. So more people sending love, man. So that's someone asking for. Oh, there it is, right there.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, it would be great to hear some new stuff from everybody on this panel. So come back anytime, gentlemen. Anytime. Dusty, if you could actually have Danny just come on instead next time, that'd be great. Everyone was really stoked when she was here.
But the
That
only
was-
reason why I'm on is because of her. So she's the one that was like, if you saw what I was staring at right now, it's just screens and keyboards, and this is what she does. So, and
Nice.
yeah, so I play with her now, Danny Strong Music, and she's awesome too. But I'm dying to play with these mothers again. And I have talked to Dave. And Dave, the last time I talked to Dave, man, he was stoked. So it just, he's not really. It's hard. He's a hard guy to get in touch with. You just every once in a while the phone rings. At least for me, and it's like once a year maybe, and it's just like a few Coronas in, and he's excited. But yeah, he's pretty elusive these days.
A few Coronas, like 10.
Yes, he's like the Bigfoot and the Kootenays where I live right now. It's hard to find him.
I'll come up and see you soon. I'm the closest to all these guys to you.
I
I'll come
hope
up and,
so.
yeah,
I
I'll come
hope
up and
so.
see you as soon as they lift the restrictions. Darren Pfeiffer, thank you, buddy, for coming on. Chuck, thanks for coming by. Mr. D, great to see you again. Dusty, good to see you, buddy. And you guys,
Thanks, guys.
tune in. Audio version of this comes out on Friday, but that is The Salad, celebrating 15 years of The Big Picture on the Kids on the Escalator podcast. It's time to move on
Thank
to
you.
hockey talk. You guys are welcome to stick
Yeah,
around.
we
for
got to do our
Thank
hockey.
you, guys.
It's Nerds
you
on
guys
Ice
are around
next.
you're around to stick around for Nerds on Ice, which happens next. Right
keep
after
I know another guy. I know two guys that'll stay on.
Nerds on Ice coming up soon with the guys from
Not
Habs.
this
Have a listen
motherfucker.
and all the rest of it. But first, we got to thank our friends at Blue Microphones, so we're going to run a little thing. Thanks, everybody.
There we go. Thanks, buddies. Cheers.
A few times I felt like an idiot.
Yeah, it's happening.
Oh my!
Mr. D says thank you all. Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Oh, is he gone too? Oh,
Well,
Darren's
he might
gone.
be still here. I'm not too sure. He might
still
still
here.
be
There he is.
floating
He's
around.
still here. Yes. Did Chuck leave?
I think
so.
Chuck's still here.
Oh.
Chuck's still kicking around.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I wish
All
we
right,
had all done
so here's
this
part two.
before.
It's going to be 7 things. Here we
Hey,
go. We're still waiting for Hockey Talk is turning into a whole thing, Chris.
People watching, and
Cool.
you ended.
That's right.
Guys. Yeah.
So we got a few things to get through here for a second. Chris, you got some pop culture news, or do you want to get right into Nerds on Ice and we'll finish up with that? How do you want to do that? How do you want to
finish up with that? Let's go. What
finish
do I
up?
got? Yeah.
We'll go to- all right. Well, hold on. We got another guy coming in here. We're gonna have Mike Pongracz, Gibby from the Habs Have a Listen podcast. How are you, buddy? If we're gonna keep this thing rolling properly. Well, did we lose Chuck?
Hold on. Okay, you guys keep going. Just a second.
Okay. Well, you're gonna miss the
I
fancy.
love you.
You're gonna miss our fancy graphic for Nerds on Ice. What a guy! Oh, we lost it. We lost everybody. All right, it's gonna be time for Nerds on Ice. Just like
Neat.
that. 6 seconds.
That was neat.
Awesome. 6 seconds of awesome. But I lost. I'm trying to think. We've lost Grant. We had
Grant's
Chuck.
coming back. There, he's got the shirt.
Oh,
There
here
we
go.
Here we go.
Here we
Sorry,
go.
Chris.
So we want to reintroduce everybody there, Brent?
Well, we're going to
Just
reintroduce
segment,
in a second here. Yeah. So what basically, anyways, we're back, everybody, on part 2, hour 2 here. We'll go where we go. We got Gibby here from the Have a Listen podcast on the Dean Blundell Network. We got Dusty here from the Salad sticking around because he needs to get his 2 cents in. Of course, my co-host, Mr. Chris Machete, and I'm the other guy. Of course, we're going to get into this in a second, which is round 1.
First time since 1979 when my favorite goalie was playing for the Leafs. Mike Palmatier.
Palmatier.
It was Palmatier against Dryden, man. I love the way Palmatier was all over the place when I was a kid. Plus, he broke his arm, and I sent him a letter, and he sent me this awesome postcard and stuff, which was cool. But it's funny because Dryden was my second favorite when I was a little nargan. Loved Dryden. I always liked the different hockey masks and stuff. But yeah,
Gibby.
So that was the last time they played, man. And Gibby, do you remember who won that series in the 1979 Leafs Habs?
That's painful.
I'm gonna guess the Leafs.
Dude, it was the Habs. Habs
Fair.
4-0, man. Smoked them.
Fair.
Well, they had Larry Robinson, Guy Lafleur, Bob Gainey, Steve Shutt, Guy Lapointe, Yvonne Lambert, Ken Dryden, and the Leafs were Daryl Sittler, Lanny McDonald, Boris Salming, Tiger Williams. So they were outclassed by the Habs back then for sure. But these days, Gibby, what do we got, my friend?
We got a doozy.
We do, huh?
I'm curious to see what's going on. I feel like the Leafs are gonna win the series just because they're ahead. They're ahead in the game, in the development game. I mean, when you get to draft a guy like Austin Matthews, I mean, it's a sure thing. Guy's going to be probably one of the greatest scorers that we'll see in a long time. Mm-hmm. I still think the Habs are probably 1 or 2 seasons behind the Leafs to be steady competitors, but I do still think that the Habs can upset the Leafs. A couple things need to happen.
Yeah, well, they're always up for the game, right? Like, that's the thing about when the Leafs play the Habs, it almost doesn't matter who's on each team because they're going to elevate their games to as high as they possibly can when those teams are playing, right? Like, even if you're not a Canadian individual, I'm sure as a hockey player, you feel that, the red versus the blue there, which is awesome. See, I've like hockey, comic books, and Kiss is what I grew up on. And it wasn't quite in that order, but it was really close. You know what I mean? And my dad took me to the games all the time and brought me through and loved it. But what a great time we have coming up for this. I'm super stoked. I really can't wait. I've been watching some of the other games too, but the Leafs have a tough team this year, which is different than any other year in the playoffs, man. My wild card is Foligno. Can you guys believe the Leafs got Foligno?
That was a good ad.
Dude, he's tough. He punched the Leafs out last playoffs, man.
Yeah.
Punched them out. Yeah. He did.
2 years ago, that was the guy I was hoping for trade deadline. It was the guy. I said they need toughness. They had all the skill in the world, but everything in me was like, if they don't bring in some sort of toughness, because they sure as didn't have it in the defense.
No,
that they got to bring it up front, and they, Simmons is great, but then he got hurt. Foligno comes in, you're like, oh my gosh, there it is, and then he gets hurt. And Hyman's great as an agitator, but yeah, I'm so excited about Foligno, man. I hope he plays well. Yeah,
he will. He'll be up for this game. He's his dad was Canadian, right? And then until he moved to
Played with the Leafs, man.
States. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember his jump, right?
Yeah.
I loved his helmet. He had the round helmet there and stuff. But
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he
his-
should be
his
wearing his
story.
helmet of his dad. I think he should be wearing his dad's
he'd
helmet.
get a concussion first hit, but you know.
Hey, look who we have here. Mikey B. Mikey,
There's
Hey,
nothing
Mike,
funnier than a concussion.
Yeah.
You know?
look at this. Hey, Dusty, look at this shit. Look what this guy's got around his
I know.
neck.
I
I'm pulling
want
out
that.
the Bubba Ray Dudley wearing the belt around the neck.
Nice.
There.
I like Chris Candido
Yeah,
as
buddy.
well, right?
Oh, let me pull.
Yeah.
There we go.
Welcome to Nerds on Ice, Mike.
Nerds on ice.
And we got a new guest here today. We got Gibby from the Habit Listen podcast.
Hey, Gibby.
Great guy on the Dean Blundell network, and
We got
he's
Grant.
we figured we'd bring one Montreal Canadian fan on the show and then
We'll
just
be kind,
hammer
buddy.
the shit out of him,
We'll be kind.
which is
We'll
great. Of course, Habit Listen, part of the Dean Blundell playoff pricks.
Oh, look at
That's
that. Look at
happening.
that promo.
Happening weekly, where the guys are going to come on and give their takes on everything that's happening, because these guys get paid the big bucks.
Wow, look at
So
that.
we've
You're
got
on
him
a real
we've got him
show
on the
here. You
show.
see that promo? Good job.
Fucking right. Just see
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
shit?
we're moving
right
up.
there.
Look, there you go. Look at that promo. I like
There's
that.
Blundell's playoff pricks. So, anyways, Chris, you've got to check something for everybody here, don't you? Did you make a chart?
Well, I was just going to take pics of what's going on, but we should go over some more of these details between the Leafs and the Habs, because there's so much more we could go over here between what's going on, right? Like, does anybody? So, who does the Habs have in net? Is Price going to be back for this officially?
Yeah. Price will be back. Price
He will be back.
Yeah.
And
So
how's
he played last night in Laval. Him
Right.
and Gallagher, and I didn't see the game. I was on another podcast as well, but apparently, according to Twitter, he had a little bit of a rough game. But
Mhm.
I'm not too worried. It's
But
Carey
the other
Price.
goalie's playing well too. What's the other goalie's name?
Jake Allen.
He's playing well too, isn't he?
Mhm.
He's a
Yeah,
blue,
he's-
right? He used to be with the blue.
Yeah.
Oh,
He-
the Blues, right. Well, that was a
Yeah.
good game last night. The Avs and the Blues. Did you guys see that? Not to get way off topic, but wow, great rough game,
Yeah.
man. I love
Yeah.
it.
But you're
Love
getting
playoff hockey.
Canadians are getting Price back, Gallagher back, and
Mhm.
Shane Weber back. Yeah.
Yes, and then Phil Deneau's coming back as well, because he was out with probably a week or two with a concussion. And I'm trying to think of another guy. Yeah, Shea
They got
Weber.
some gunslingers coming back. I didn't know Weber was out as well.
Yeah, Weber was out probably for a week and a
Okay.
half.
Now,
Yeah.
are they rushing any of these guys back? Does anybody know, or is this like, are they okay?
Well, Gallagher was out for 6 to 8 weeks with the broken thumb.
Right.
So I don't think he's being rushed back. He looked all right yesterday, apparently. Shea Weber, I don't know. Shea Weber's a coin flip. I
How
don't
old
know
is he now?
what I'm gonna get.
What's his age now?
35, I want to say.
Oh, he should still have
34.
He should at least have one more year in him here, right? Going against
Yeah,
the Leafs in the playoff.
I don't know if he's playing this season injured or whatnot, but
Mm.
he's looked a little rough.
Yeah, that's
Definitely
always tough when
look a
they
little
play
rough.
injured, man. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Dusty,
Yeah.
fellow BCer living in Vancouver Canucks country. Takeaways from or your predictions on round one, and then also being a Leaf fan in Canuck country.
Well, yeah, I get this from my brother all the time back in Barrie, Ontario. But he's like, "Are you wearing your Canucks jersey tonight?" And I'm like, "I'm 4 hours from Calgary, you moron! Like, if I was gonna wear one, I'd be there." Like, you know, if you move to British Columbia, everybody in Ontario is like, "Oh, so how's Vancouver?" And I'm like, I'm 2 hours from the Alberta border. Like, I mean, and anyway, so. And I was excited about the Canucks, but I'm a Canadian hockey fan. Growing up in Ontario, I always loved Edmonton and I liked Calgary. But I'm always a Leafs fan. So for me, I'm nervous like most Leaf fans should be. If I was a pundit on TV, I'd be like, Leafs, you're going to take it in 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with what I've seen over the last, few years, it's to be playing the Habs is the greatest thing and the most terrifying thing, because if they fold, it's going to be a nightmare. I don't think they will. I think Campbell's been great. If he gets a good start in game 1, I'm really excited about the way things are going to go. At the same time, I mean, and Price has been hurt. So I just hope they get on him, and I hope Foligno's in front of the net. I hope Hyman's back so he can just be a total prick. And and I love Carey Price, as a player for Canada. But
yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I do. I love a lot of the players, but come on. It's been a lot. It's been years and years and years. Last year when we went down, I threw my jersey and I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I'm finished. And then the preseason started and this jersey was back on. And I was like, where can the kids go so we can watch the game? I've taped it. I had 6 beers in a cooler and I had a pizza on order. Like, let's go. So I'm obviously, it's never going to, I can't help it. I can't help it. I want them to win so badly. I think everything in me says they should. I think they brought in the toughness that they needed, but it's the defense still, even though their first pairing is great. And I can't believe how well Hall has been playing. Because he was, he made me nervous for a long time, but he's played so good this year. And then Dermott's been great. We'll see. I don't want to bring up Matthews and Marner. I mean, come on.
Right. Yeah. They got so many older guys on there too that are playing to win, not playing for the paycheck, which is great. That was
Montreal is going to be great.
Because they
I don't want them to be this year.
No, it's going to be a great series. There's so many fans across Canada or Ontario, or at least, that are waiting for this to happen. You know what I mean? I'm totally stoked about it. I personally think that the Leafs are going to take it this year. I think this is the Leafs year to finally make it by the first round. But also, I think that they got some goaltending depth this time too. I think also as well is Freddie's waiting, right? Freddie's just waiting because he's not going to get the start, but he's just waiting to say, "Oh yeah, give me a chance," which could be good for his brain, his noggin, right? Like his goalies are strange that way, but that could be instead of being confident. Oh, I know I'm the guy. It doesn't matter. I could lose like 7-0. I'm playing the next game, so this could be good for him. This could be good for him to give him a little bit of a challenge, and then he can pick his game up a bit because he's one of the Leafs that in the past really didn't rise during the playoffs. You know what I mean? He was great during the season. When the playoffs hit, he was just like your average goalie. Whereas like we're seeing in the Wild, the Minnesota Wild, their goalie is just fantastic the other night. They're unbelievable. If
you see like last year with the Canucks in the playoffs, I think Demko stole that whole series for them.
You gotta watch those hot goalies, huh?
Yeah, and it was crazy. And it was amazing to watch him rise out of nowhere, out of the shadow and of Markstrom and take it over. And it was funny when the Canucks didn't sign him. Or didn't sign Markstrom, and they're like, we're going to go with Demko, and everyone's like, okay, well, this is going to be an interesting kind of thing. And Markstrom didn't have a great year in Calgary, and Demko was great until he went down and injured. So I haven't seen that out of Toronto lately when it comes to like a goalie stealing it over the last couple of years. It's really going to be a thing. Mikey, what do you think, Mike? Yeah,
Price could steal it too.
This. I'm with you on this. I think Soupy is the piece of the puzzle, one of the pieces of the puzzle that's been missing. And to what you were saying, Chris, Freddie, it's amazing because there are goaltenders in the league that swear by the fact that Freddie Anderson is one of the most highly respected, and they think he's one of the best goalies. And it blew my mind when I heard that. I don't want to say which goalie said this, but anyway, I think Soupy he's the guy. He's the Thatcher Demko of this season.
Nice.
Because I mean, the story has been perfect. I mean, he's 17, 18, 2-2. Was that the final byline on him?
Something like
17,
that.
17-2 or 7-2.
Yeah,
well, anyway,
broke a new record too, right?
And the guy, if you watch in any game that he's played, the guys play for him. And that's something you never really saw with Freddie. I mean, yeah, they say Freddie's our guy, but the way the players in front of him played for Jack Campbell, I mean, that's that right there. And you can see, it's always shown, when he makes a stop, if the defenseman's there, he'll tap him on the shins, like he's so into it. And I think that's what's the guys are feeding off that. Foligno was a hell of a pickup.
Oh yeah, I'm really stoked on Foligno, man.
It's what they've been missing: grit, toughness, aggressiveness, and that's the one thing that scares me with the Montreal matchup. Montreal, out of all the other North teams, has been the only team that's really shown any aggression or any sort of physicality. And what the Leafs have to do is they've got to make their mark early. And that's why, some people are saying the fourth line, the old guys. I love it. I think that's just a great fourth line. Plus, you move Simmons up to the first line every once in a while, just to keep guys in check so that they're not going after Marner and Matthews.
Yeah, it's good to have that.
Hey, Gibby, what's your take on Toronto? Give us your breakdown of that. We don't. Yeah.
So
let's hear what you got.
So for me, I think adding a guy like Brody was something that you guys needed to do for the past 3 or 4 years. You need a guy that was going to help Riley. I think your top 6 is really good. Your third line is who's on the third line right now?
Well, we got Kerfoot,
Yeah.
we got Riley Nash, I believe, and the other soup guy.
Where does that come in? Riley Nash.
Yeah,
because he hasn't played, right?
Nope,
No.
just popping him in because he was
just
another
throwing
guy
him in.
that beat the crap out of the Leafs on the Bruins and when he was on Columbus, right? So they're picking him up. The thing is, if he doesn't work out, they put back in. what's the gentleman's name?
Galchenyuk.
Yeah, who gets bounced around everywhere. They pop him back in there, I guess, right?
I don't know why they're pulling him out.
Yeah, well, they're going to give Nash a try, right? As I mentioned, just because he's been such a thorn in their side. I think Spezza is going to be another one that's going to pop out here and just be like, wow, look at him go.
Yeah. I think like I said, you guys look a lot better than previous years. I think you guys got some grit, you guys got some toughness. That was definitely what you guys have been missing in the playoffs.
Definitely.
I think
Paula
what it's going to come.
Paula wants us to recognize Goyette and Wickenheiser too, because they're playing a massive role with the Leaf organization right now.
Cheers to
Player
that.
development. I think Wickenheiser is now the head of player development and
Dr. Haley Wickenheiser. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go, Paula. Absolutely, big time on that.
I think with regards to the toughness and I think the one thing that's kind of the wild card here. And I've noticed this watching a lot of the other division playoff matches. The Caps series is insane.
Oh, it's good. Yeah,
the Caps are deadly, and I worry a little bit about when the North teams sync up with the other divisions
100%.
because there's a different level of physicality that I don't think we've seen a lot this season. And the Leafs have got some really good speed. But the speed means nothing if they're getting stonewalled at the blue line and can't do it. Like this power play has been, abysmal. It's because they caught on. Like other teams caught on to the Leafs' weakness, and it's this aggression. It's really that's the one thing that kind of worries me about the Montreal matchup is that I think if they don't sort of mark their territory and show some aggression right off the bat, Marner and Matthews, they can skate all they want, but if they're shadowed, if they're getting hit, they're
that's got to be the game plan, right? Is like shut down Marner's and Matthews. That's got to be the game plan. So Gibby, who do they stick on Matthews, man?
Phil Deneau.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Phil Deneau. He's probably one of the, I'd say, top 7 shutdown centers in the league.
So that's one of the games inside the games we're going to be looking at, right? For sure. I love it. I love it.
I think, I can't remember who it was. I believe it was either McDavid or Matthews. They said he's the biggest pain in the ass when it comes to Phil Deneau. Biggest pain in the ass to play against. But yeah, going back on the like once everything transitions to outside the North Division, it's funny that you say that because outside my bracket, I have for my playoff bracket, I have the Leafs coming out of the North Division, but losing to the Caps. right away.
I'm thinking it's going to be the Leafs and the Caps as well, buddy. I'm just riding on who's going to be injured and who's still going to be in the game, and then you know what I mean. I can kind of go from there. But yeah, I'm feeling you on that.
This first round is going to be taxing for a lot of those teams. I think we're going to see some 6 and 7 game series. The Pittsburgh Islanders series, like that's going to go the distance.
I think you're going to see 4 game series in the second round. I think you're going to see, like, when they get out of the North, and it's like, hey, we won the North or whoever. Then they're going to start matching up against Pittsburgh or the Islanders or somebody, whoever comes out of the North. It could be Edmonton, for fuck's sakes. We don't know. But whoever comes out of the North has got to match up with these people, with these teams, and it's going to be like, fuck, we haven't had a chance to adjust to them all year. And this is going to be the interesting part of the playoffs this year. I think is when all these teams split over and start playing other teams, because you didn't get a chance to compile any of the shit points this year.
Right.
You really just played against your teams, and then now you're going to have to. How the fuck do we play against Minnesota?
Have you guys seen the Florida Tampa Bay highlights of those games?
Yeah.
Stamkos is.
I want to tape every one of those games, because those look like the most exciting games I've seen so far.
They're beating each other up.
Ridiculous. Yeah, they're beating each other up, but it's the passing is perfect. The goaltending is great. It's aggressive. It's everything that we want. And I'm just crossing my fingers that we're going to get the same thing, because but that's the one I never thought I'd give a. I wouldn't care about. And now I'm like going, I kind of think I'm going to tape those games and watch those before I go to work.
The Lightning just got back a gentleman on defense there. I can't remember his name. He hadn't played all year. Dude come in and got a goal and 2 assists and just ran the team. One of the defensemen. I can't remember.
It's Kucherov.
Kucherov. Yeah.
Hadn't played all year. Steps in and just like, here I am. Give me the puck. I own this.
That's kind of
so. Gibby, guys, do we know how this is going to play out? I mean, there'll be more of this on the Playoff Pricks, show that's coming up on the Blundell Network, as far as like breaking it all down. But do we know, Gibby, guy like Mike, Grant, Chris, about how they're going to, like, you got the Toronto, you got the North, and then who does the North play next? Do they play the East? Are they playing how are they splitting? Yeah, how are they splitting it up like after that?
No, I heard it's going to be a complete reseed.
Yeah,
so based off of So there's so we could potentially have 2 Eastern Conference teams playing in the Stanley Cup final this year.
Oh, that is
interesting.
That's good info.
So bizarre.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. It's kind of cool how it's working out, but like I miss playing other teams like Tampa and all those guys, but it's kind of a neat way that they prep this season.
The one wild card here that hasn't been talked about a lot, but based on the news today that the Canadians are going to be welcoming spectators back on the 28th.
Oh, that's
awesome.
the
plan. Watching some of those American teams, and they've got crowds. Like that Washington crowd was small, but they were loud.
They are awesome too, right?
And this will be a difference maker, because last year in the playoffs, it was Adam, like our friend Adam there, who's my hockey nerd buddy, which was why I was late tonight, because we were talking hockey.
Can you tell him to get on this show and talk hockey for fuck's sake? It's not like
he jumped in here.
He will be joining us. Trust me.
It's not like he's what's he doing down there? Working out and being a dad. What's his problem?
He's promised he will join us on this show. We were talking about this, and last year it was interesting because it was almost all about skill. That X factor of the crowd and sort of the momentum shifts that come with a home crowd. Like there was no home ice advantage last year. This year, different story. When you start getting into crowds, and they can really make a difference, in those tight games, especially, when we get into, and it's going to be rabid because you've had an entire season where you haven't been able to be at live hockey games. Now you're going to get the chance. 2,500 fans is going to sound like 25,000 fans. Mm-hmm. So it's very cool that Montreal is sort of prepping for that. I don't know what it's Ontario. I don't know what we're going to do.
Well, Gibby, what do you think about that? You going to go to a Montreal game, buddy, or what?
I got to make the drive because I'm actually in Ontario.
Sure, but That's fine.
I'm gonna
you're
see
the third. You're the third kind of Leaf fan. So there's three kinds of Leaf fans. There's the realistic one, the unrealistic one, and the Hab fan. Those are the three.
I'm a
Hard to
Vancouver
get a ticket for
guy.
that game, man.
Yeah,
I know.
it's
I don't
good.
know how
All right,
expensive.
final
it's gonna
predictions
be.
on round one. Final predictions on round one.
Do you want to go through?
Guys?
Do you want to go through everything, Brent? Not now. Do
Sure.
you want to go through
You
like,
rhyme
the
it
whole
off. You
first
rhyme
round?
you rhyme off the series, Chris, and we'll give predictions.
And you guys tell me who you think. So, okay, so first, well, we go. Okay,
Hold
we
on,
got
Chris,
Leafs and Habs.
Chris, one more second.
What?
We got to take 6 seconds to recognize.
Love it.
Nerds on Ice.
Nerds on Ice.
That's really
All right, Chris, shut
Okay.
them out.
So, okay, so Leafs versus Habs. We'll start with you, Brent.
I got Leafs in 6.
Okay. We'll just keep going across the top, my friend.
Leafs in
Grant.
6.
Yep. Okay. Grant, Leafs and same thing.
Yep.
Okay. And then are we guys seeing the same as I? So that would be Gibby up next.
Okay. I'll say Leafs in 5.
Okay.
You want to hold on a second? You want to say that again for your listeners on the podcast? We can do a second.
be nice.
They all know. They all know.
Okay.
Mike, what do you got, buddy?
I'm with Gibby. Leafs in 5. If I would go sweep, but I think we're going to see we'll see 5 games.
Okay, I'm saying Leafs in 6. I was the same as the other dudes here. Okay, we got another
Goaltending
series.
I worry about.
I know, right? Yeah, I got goaltending and injuries. Okay, so our next series here, boys, we got now some of these have started, but let's just go through it. We got the Pens and the Islanders.
I'm gonna go,
You taking off, dude?
guys. I gotta go.
Okay, no
All
problem,
right,
brother.
buddy. Good to see you.
Thanks.
That's Grant with the
Thank
salads.
you.
Thanks
Grant.
for joining us today,
So
buddy.
much for having me and keeping me in this, guys. I appreciate it so much. Thank
Love
you.
it.
No problem,
Take it
brother.
easy.
Thank you,
Talk to
Grant.
soon.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so Brent, who do you got for Pens versus Isles?
Pens versus Isles. I'm gonna go with Islanders. I love the Pens, but I like. I think the Islanders are deadly down low. So I'm
Yeah,
going
they
with the
are a
Islanders.
tough team, man.
I'm
If their
going
home
with the
crowd was there in full force, that would like help at least one game. They're nuts.
Yeah, I like the
How-
Islanders. Even though I'd like to see Sid win another one, but Islanders.
Right. Okay, Gibby, what do you got?
I got Islanders in 6.
Ooh, nice. Okay, Mike.
Pens in 5.
Whoa, look at that guy.
Ooh.
There
Yeah.
you go. You got to throw a wrench in the system there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They win
great. So,
today.
what's that?
They did. They did.
Okay, so
we're
okay,
tied up at
your
1.
prediction's still all right then.
There we go.
Yep.
And then we got Caps and Bruins who are tied up at one as well. This is a good series. This is a tough one too. It's cool that Chara is on the opposite team of Boston. That's like another
Yeah.
game inside the game, right? Okay, Brent, who do you got?
Oh, Washington's so goddamn good, but I'm going with Boston, and I'll tell you why.
Whoa.
Because those fuckers always seem to ruin everyone's life. So I'm going with
They
Boston.
do. They do.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
Gibby,
go
who
with
do you got,
Boston.
buddy? We don't have to call a game. How many games? Unless you want to.
I got Caps in 6.
Caps in 6?
Caps in 6. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Mike?
Taylor Hall, great pickup
great last
for
night.
them. Great pickup. Marchand, that was. I love that shot at the end of the game, and kudos to Hall. Is like, yeah, I've been working out, and Marchand's light, so I just really catch him. I'm going Bruins in 7.
Bruins.
Yeah,
That's gonna be Hall. Hall's gonna have a big impact in that.
yeah.
series.
The Caps,
sure.
the Caps are deadly. It's going to be a tough series, but I still think, like you said, the Bruins have this thing.
Yeah.
It's
They just find a way.
thing.
I
So,
loved watching Hall last night though, Taylor Hall, because he doesn't know his teammate or his line mates, and he's so faster than them. He's just like, give me the damn puck, man, get out of the way. And you could tell he was going to score that goal because he was just like looking up ice, starting over, but he wasn't gelling. I don't think he's gelling with his line mates, man. I think he's just, it's me, go follow
They
me.
can have Louis Erickson back.
Yeah.
Hey,
all right. So what we got next?
It's
So we got-
TJ Oshie. Oh man, like he's gonna have a hell of a series too. So
Yeah, he always
that's
bugged me when
why-
he was on the Blues, man. I
Yeah.
couldn't stand him when he was on the Blues. Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny. I hate the Blues because I had a student who used to come in all the time and tell me they're the best team in the world. And he was just a little guy, right? And he used to just, the Blues, the Leafs are the worst. They suck. And he would just go on and on, right? Like a little, yeah. And he liked the Blues so much that it made me hate them. Okay. So we got now, okay. So the Hurricanes and the Preds, man. How about the Hurricanes? What the hell?
I got to go Hurricanes just because of I got to go Hurricanes just because they got the momentum going and they got the crowd. To your point,
Yeah.
Mike, I think they're just
They got
going to
the
light it
surge.
up. They're going to light it up.
Gibby?
Yeah, I got Carolina in 6. I think I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. The goalie Nedjolovic
Yeah.
or whatever.
Buddy, you
Just
Ned,
call him
big-
Larry. Just call him
Big
Larry.
Ned.
Larry the goalie.
I think he's going to be the goalie, the Binnington of this playoffs.
Oh yeah,
Nice. I like it. All right, Mike.
yeah. Canes. Yeah, 6.
Bye, Preds.
Yeah.
That's it for the Preds. Okay, Brent, Panthers and Lightning, my friend.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
this
the
is
good
another
story.
one.
Series,
This is a
right?
tough
Good
one.
story is Florida is the Panthers beating the Stanley Cup champions, which you always have these in these kind of tales. I'm not sure that they're strong enough. I am going to say it's going to go to 7 games, but I think you're going to have Tampa take it down.
Ew.
I think Kucherov is
Move
hungry,
on.
and I think that's going to be the difference.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
True that. All right, Gibby, what do you got for us, buddy?
I got Tampa in 7. I think
Ooh, that's going to be a tough
I-
series, huh?
yeah, Kucherov that's kind of a sketchy thing that they did this year, but whatever. It is
Yeah,
what it
right.
is.
Again, that's a story inside of a story. That's
Yeah.
something you go on forever
Yeah.
ago, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you got Tampa as well?
Tampa in 7, yeah.
Okay, Mike, buddy.
I will. Well, Tampa for sure.
Mm.
Whether it's 5 or 6, I mean, they're as of right now they are leading 2-1 with 2 minutes to go. So, Vasilevsky he's going to be standing on his head again. So I'm going with Tampa. I'll say 6, but probably 5.
Okay. All right. Now, this is a game that I watched last night that I really dug was the Avs versus the Blues. And I think the Avs are going to just, wow, what a team. Anyway, go ahead, Brent.
Okay, I got the Avs all the way
Yeah, man.
to
Holy
the
Avs.
Stanley Cup final, and that's just strictly because Kadri winning a cup
Kadri's on there.
is about to explode. Kadri winning the cup will basically melt the city of Toronto into the ground.
That's
So
hilarious.
I have Avs going all the way. Well, kinda. I have two. I have like an Avs Knights kind of. I'm up in the air, but I'm thinking the Avs are going to go all the way.
That's funny, though, because you got Kessel who left and got a cup. You got, what's the centerman that just left and went to the Blues and got a cup?
Steen?
man.
Was it Steen?
Steen.
No. There was another one. He just left.
Recently?
He was buddies with Marner.
Oh,
He was buddies with Marner.
Last year. I know what yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
it's killing me.
So yeah, you're gonna have.
And he left, and now Kadri left. So yeah.
I'm gonna go Avs. I took
Okay,
half
good.
that team on my playoff pool this year. And
Dude, yeah. So Gibby, what do you think, bud?
I got Avs in 4.
Tyler Bozak, by the way.
That's
Tyler
it, Tyler
Bozak. There
Bozak.
it
Thank
is.
you, Bozak.
The Flozak.
Bozak. Yeah, so he won a cup. Okay, so sorry, Gibby, who did you have there?
Avs in 4.
Avs and yeah,
pretty
they're
sweet.
gonna- yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, what you saying, buddy?
Yeah, Avs in 5. Yeah, Colorado is
They'll take one night off, huh, bud?
they'll give one
They'll
back.
take one night off,
Or
right? On.
Bennington
Okay, here's
will
our
steal
last
a
one,
game.
and this surprised me. As I say, the Wild's goal, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Vegas Knights versus the Wild, Brent. What are you saying?
okay, so I had Knights Leafs final. If I can tell you, that's what I was. I was
Oh,
hoping there would be
originally.
there would just be a run here of a Knights Leafs final.
Yeah.
That was my original prediction, and then but that's what I was seeing a game, and then watching the other game and watching Minnesota play them the way they did. I was like, ooh. Vegas, I love Fleury in there. And I'd love nothing more than Fleury, who should be the MVP this year, or at least be up for the Vezina. Thank you.
Vezina.
Fuck, Jesus, nerds on ice.
Okay.
So, anyways, yes, the Vezina. But I think after watching Minnesota play the way they did, I think that they're going to foil. So I think
Wow.
Minnesota, I think Minnesota's going to surprise them in 7.
No.
Really? In
I wasn't expecting to see Minnesota play the way they did. So yeah, that was.
I actually bought the Sportsnet package for this month and just so I could watch friggin' games because I'm loving it. Okay, Gibby, who do you got for the Vegas and for the Wild? Man, that's a good series.
Yeah, should be. I got Vegas in 6. I think I think Vegas is just too good. I think they'll bounce back, and I think Talbot was good, but all year they've been those goalies. The 2 goalies have been kind of wishy-washy. So I think that's what it's going to come down to.
You think he had a lucky game there, huh, bud?
Yeah, I think Vegas
that
is
happens,
gonna.
right?
I think Vegas is gonna adapt to it, and they'll end up winning.
All right, Mike, our last one. What do you got, my friend?
Yeah, Vegas. I was with Brent on this one. My call was Vegas is going to go all the way this year.
So you're picking the Vegas?
Yeah, I'm taking Vegas. I'll go 6, but yeah, I think they're there
we go.
Inevitable.
Now here's what we got to do:
Inevitable.
is when round 2 starts, we congregate here together again, and we'll see how well we all did, my friends.
Either that, or we all invade this show, and we all get on over there. The playoff bricks. It's airing.
It's like a Marvel. It's a Marvel team up. It's like a Marvel team up. I love it.
Yeah.
A crossover event of the century.
Starts Thursday on the Blundell Network. All right, we gotta go. We gotta keep going on other stuff here for a minute. Chris and I got a bunch of other things to get to. So around the horn, let's do this as we do it. Gibby, have a listen. Where can people find you and all the things?
You can find us at the Dean Blundell Network, obviously. Greatest team in the world. You can also find us on Twitch. Everything's just have a listen. Pretty simple. Twitch, Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, whatever you guys want to look at, we're there. Just have a listen.
Hey, Gibby, did you think we were going to give you like a really hard time on here tonight? Or
yeah. I thought you guys were going to give me shit.
People think that about just talking about Star Wars and it's Spider-Man. It's like, and then like, well, this was really easy. I thought you guys were going to hit me with these hard questions, be mean to me. And it's like, no, man, no, we're not like that.
We're only mean
to
Mike.
We talked some hockey.
Mean to Mike.
I was on the Leafs fan cast yesterday, and another Dean Blundell team members, and they were just ripping me, man.
Oh no, we wouldn't do that. No. See, we're comic book nerds, so we're pretty passive, and until we get the skates on and we're on the ice, then it's all over.
Then it's all.
Yeah, buddy. But thanks for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it myself, because I was asking Brandon, I was like, dude, we got to get a Habs fan on here, man. He's like, I got somebody. It's right on. So it's really nice to meet you, Gibby. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Brad.
Nice to meet you, boys, too.
Right on, Gibby.
Come back anytime, brother.
Thanks a lot, boys. Take care.
Cheers.
And then there's this guy. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on all the things, Mike?
Oh, there's lots going on these days, boys. That's what I'm saying, right? It's funny. Yes. By the way, Adam does send his best. He will come on the podcast. He's been a bit busy, as you can probably tell.
We won't ask him any wrestling questions, man. No wrestling questions.
No, he's totally down with the next nerd hockey talk. So once we get to maybe through the first round, I'm sure he's
now 7 times
more than happy to join.
It's now 7 times a week.
Well,
awesome.
Well, tonight the thing is he's got his Leaf hockey room that he built for in the place, and he's got a new TV in there. So tonight it was tech nerd Mike helping him sort of work through some technical issues with his TV, because man, playoffs, like the most important of the playoffs, starts Thursday. So
yeah, dude.
he was in a little bit of a panic, and Beth had called me up the other day, and she's like, "Can you help us out?" And if I could fly down, I would, but it's a border thing. And by the way, shouts to James JB official JB Toys for
look at that,
the
dude.
belt. I got to do it the right way. Yeah,
that's so cool.
So I had to cheap plugola for him. You know what? Same old. Although I will say, Brent, you might hear me a little bit more over the next couple of weeks out on the West Coast there. So, because I got
Are you going to be part of a thing now?
I'm going to be part of a thing that's a part of your wonderful province out there. I'm doing a little work for something out there that I can't really talk about, but it's BC related. So
is it the Bonnie Henry's spoken word album, and you're going to narrate it?
No, it's not. I'm doing.
It's all good.
Where am I? Am I back? Hang on. Are we there?
We had you. You're gone. You're here. You're out. There he goes.
I'm here.
There he is.
There you go.
He likes to do the thing.
Sorry. No, I'm going to be doing the audiobook for The Grapes of Wrath.
Cool.
Here
are the grapes, and here's the wrath.
Yes. But it is something to do with. I can't really.
It's all good.
But anyway,
no problem.
So yeah,
we break news on this. We break news on this.
Well,
we come back and break news.
I have to at least make it seem like I'm doing something of relative importance. When I'm not here on the most important of the podcasts. So
we appreciate
very exciting cast.
No, it's all good, man. So
we got you registered here, Mike, for your predictions. We're gonna come back again, and
dude,
we'll see it before then. But I'm hanging on to these, so we have them for when we do loop back.
I am so psyched.
Me too.
Just this series. Oh man, there's so much good happening.
Yeah. We should do a watching party where we're all watching the game, kind of, on the screen there. Those are big, apparently.
Which is
Twitch.
which is a great thing. But man, if the Leafs start losing, that's the
I know,
last
but
place you
that'll
want to
be
be.
so funny. That'll be the funny part. 'Cause I'm that way too. If I have a Leaf shirt on, they're losing. I rip it off. I take the hat and whip it over here.
Yeah, it's well, and that's the nice thing about the belt too. Like if they start losing, if there's a Habs fan nearby, then they get the old belt shot, and then you know.
I love it, buddy. I love it.
That's the way it works. So, but anyway, yeah, guys, and Brent, sorry about the Canucks. I really am. You know.
Hey, listen, they're still playing. I got some great playoff hockey happening right now.
Hey,
you know,
4-2. They beat Calgary tonight. So
not to mention they came back
4-0.
They came back 4-0 the other night and just lost an OT. But that was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
I'm getting playoff hockey. It's just ending in a day. And then,
well, you know,
then blue and white kicks in. So, Michael,
blue and white, it's gonna be great, boys.
thanks for hanging out for Nerds
No
on
worries.
Ice. We'll see you shortly, my friend.
Absolutely, go Leafs, go!
Go Leafs, go!
That
All right,
has
boys,
been
peace out.
Nerds on Ice.
That's cool. That's great.
How about that shit?
That was 2 hours. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're
All
getting there. You got some stuff to get to.
Okay, we got news. So I did want to talk about New Jack. The wrestler New Jack from ECW passed away. That's where he's most known from, is ECW. Now, here's the thing about New Jack is he was a very dangerous wrestler. Yes, he was. We all should have kept Mike on for this to talk about it. But New Jack was a very dangerous wrestler. But here's the thing. I don't know, Brent, if you've ever been in a room, the only white person in a room full of people where you're the only white dude. Just saying. New Jack, that was his life. He was the only black guy wherever he went. And he was wrestling. He started in Memphis, Tennessee. Wow. So here's how New Jack's matches started. Go home, N-word. Get out of here, N-word. You know, and as he would progress to win his matches, it would get even more violent, more agitating towards him, more disrespectful towards him. So he got more and more angry, and he took it to levels that he probably shouldn't have. But some of the stuff he did was super entertaining. I was a big fan. I'm just getting out of the way everybody who's going to be yelling at me going, no, he wasn't safe. He was a terrible wrestler. He was on cocaine all the time. The guy had a stupid, rough life. And if you can type in and have a life as rough as maybe New Jack had, then maybe we'll discuss it. If not, don't want to hear it. So anyway, New Jack, man. Rest in peace, New Jack. Was he 58 years old? And of course it was heart troubles. He had some great matches with Vic Grimes, way up high. There was the mass transit incident where a gentleman shouldn't have been wrestling, and New Jack taught him a lesson. Not a great story, but stuff you can see online that's really interesting. All right. He was in the Gangstas, and they changed the game. He made I remember one quote he said was, way to go, OJ, take out some more. And this is when the OJ trial was going on, right? Like, dude, he took on the persona New Jack, dude. He was I know he didn't wrestle a lot, but he took a lot of bumps, a lot of hits for you fans. ECW. Cheers, New Jack. Because Weezer mentioned him in the song El Scorcho.
And it was nice of Paulie yesterday on the SmackDown. He paid a little tribute to him. So
he did.
R.I.P.
New Jack. All right, moving along. I started watching Jupiter Legacy on Netflix by Mike Millar. And I'll tell you, man, live action. Let's boil this down. This is about the origin of this group. And it is also about the line between heroes and villains, the non-killing line. So it gets to the point where if you're a hero and you're fighting a villain, he's going to kill you. He's going to try and kill you, but you can't kill him because you're a hero. Well, this isn't working out anymore. Heroes are dropping like flies, and it's really graphic. It's a very adult tale. I'm enjoying it profusely. I didn't think I would, because it's like, wow. Of course, me too. More superhero stuff. Oh my gosh! And it's a family, and here's all the behind the scenes things. But not only is the story, Mark Millar, if you don't know this author, this comic book author, he's amazing. The Authority. There's tons of stuff he's done. Just Google him. But this story is very, very adult, and it's always about crossing lines, okay? And the way that they wrap the origin story of these heroes with the story going on that they are talking about is flawless. This is, you know me, Brent, layers with characters, great storytelling. I don't want to be you. If you lose my attention for 5 minutes, I don't like it. How'd you like it? Well, there's 5 minutes where I watched a bug on the wall. I hated it. It was very bad. But no, this is a really good show. I'm on episode 6. I don't know how many there are. And I can't remember the actors or actresses in the show, but I've been watching over the past few days, and I'm stoked. Jupiter Legacy.
We talked about it last week because I was talking about Invincible.
Yep.
And then I saw this live action come on with Jupiter's Legacy, which I haven't started yet because I'm still trying to watch Invincible. And I'm like, it almost feels like it's the same premise.
I think you will like. Okay, here's the thing. So I have wrapped my head around all this.
Yeah.
We got the Bad Batch for the kids.
Yeah.
Invincible, teenagers.
Yep.
We got Jupiter Legacy for people in their late 20s and up, because Jupiter Legacy, man, is a great story. Wow. I give it 5 shields.
5 shields.
I give it 5 shields, dude. I was blown away, partially because I didn't think I was going to like it. Dude, it's flawless. It's flawless. It is
gotta
really
watch
flawless.
It'll tide us over till The Boys starts again, I guess.
It will, man. It's adult.
Right.
Like I say, like it's because a lot of these things you go in like Invincible, and it's kind of like, oh, as we've discussed this as adults.
Yep.
When I watch kids doing school stuff, I lose attention. I didn't like going to school. It wasn't fun for me. I'm not in school.
Right.
I teach sometimes. I'm a teacher. That's not what I want to see. The stuff outside of it was great, but you can tell that's aimed for late teens, right? It's just, it's gory. So, look at all the violence, because, they're desensitized to that nowadays, especially cartoon violence. But this Jupiter Legacy has real problems about, like, there's a family and they're superheroes. Well, the girl's like, doesn't want to be a superhero, and her friends are dying because there's this stupid law that the superheroes have about not killing. Well, all the superheroes are getting killed and they're getting mad now. So now they're like, look, there's always a Superman character, right? So they're going to the Superman character and going, dude, we got to start killing. And even his son. Oh, there's a scene with his son where he just...
Is it for kids? Can kids watch this?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not at all.
It's not,
and they'll get so bored with it, dude. They will get bored with it because it's intellectual. It's very intellectual. The origin story is complex. It's times where you can't wrap your head around what's going on. And then everything seems like, oh, I get it now. And then what you do get evolves. And it meshes, as I mentioned, it meshes so nicely with the story that they're telling. Now, being a person who's written an origin issue, it's very tough to make it exciting. And this is a great origin TV show, man. Fantastic. Okay, so as I say, I give it 5 shields, partially because I didn't think I was going to like it. And whenever you don't think you're going to like, hey, man, try this drink. Oh, it's great. It's a girl drink, but I love it. The kids in the halls watching girl drink drunk. Or, you get a coffee or something or a cappuccino. It's like, well, I'm not going to like that. Pumpkin spice. And you taste it and you like it. So I really dug that, man. I thought that was great. Now, on the other side of things, which is great here. So Machete Comics, we're releasing. So we got issue 1 on order. We did it. So it's coming here. It's going to be at my house the same day the Leafs play on the 20th. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. So we got it. 100 issues on the way, my friends. Beauty. It's looking like we're going to sell them all online. I don't think I can even take them to the stores. So what we're looking at here is between $7 and $8, including shipping. And this will come right to your door. It'll be in a nice bag and backer board. If you want it signed, you have to request that, but I will totally sign it for you. There's only 100 copies of the first print. So this is awesome. So when this does, because this is the funny thing, Brent, when I started this, it was like, man, if only I could print this comic book, we'll see if I can succeed at doing that. I don't know why that accent came into play, but it did. I did it. We're here. So now I'm saying when this comic book becomes a TV show, this comic book is going to be worth a lot of money. Absolutely. So that's my next step. So that's coming next. That is coming next. So secondly, there it is, Skeletron. It's going to be here. You'll see a lot. I'm going to break it down so you can order it online so easily. And as I say,
it's on Blurb as well, or no?
No, man.
No, it's Patreon, right? You did
no,
Patreon.
Not even that. You're getting this right from me. Right from me. I'm taking care of all this personally. I looked into a lot of stuff, and someone's like, yeah, it'll get there in like 3 weeks. And no, man. It's only 100 copies. We can take care of this here at Machete Studios. Secondly, we have been contracted, and you don't even know this news, buddy. I'm breaking this today because I just kind of
finally have a breaking. Let me see if I've got a breaking news thing. No, I don't. I really don't have a breaking news thing.
Machete Comics has been contracted to bring a charted novel, Harry Potter-esque, to life. From the drawings, we're doing a graphic novel of what's the book called, Lonnie? Oh, maybe I can't mention the name of the book right now. Sorry. Okay, so I can't make but we've been picked up. The novel has been on the bestseller list. It's a Harry Potter-esque thing.
Sweet.
But when I started a year ago and I was telling people, I'm going to start a comic company and I'm going to sell a lot of comics, and I don't know where that accent came from either, but it's been 2 hours. So Machete Comics is a thing now. We're actually, when I talk to people now, I'm like, yeah, I own a comic company. So now we are going to bring a novel to life. A novel that has already sold tons of copies, already been on the bestseller list. And boy, I'm really excited. So it's the dream's coming true. Anything other, I don't want to sound like obviously I'm relaying information, but the thing is, folks, is that if you have a passion for something, you can do it. And the biggest thing is not to listen to what anybody else tells you. My moving here to Kingston was one of the biggest ones, Brent. Like, you were basically one of the only one. Oh no, it was Dent. Sorry. Dent was like, get out of there as quick as you can. You were a little leery on it. Understood. But my lawyer, when I went to leave Port Perry, thought I was crazy. Don't go to Kingston. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. You're crazy. You got it. You follow creative people. And I say this so many times, and people look at me like I'm an idiot. Oh, you're just good at drawing, or you got connections in music. No, dude, it's not that. It's do what you want to do. Focus on it. You will find a way. Don't think of how you're going to do it. Just do it. You think of all those roadblocks, you're never going to stop.
The thing that people when they put together something, they always think about the reasons that they shouldn't. And they rarely think about the reasons why they should. And I've always been a proponent that when you say yes, good things happen. And at the very least, when you say yes, you get answers. So you say yes, you go do it. It didn't work out. You got that answer. You say yes, it did work out, and it changed your life. Same with me moving to Vancouver. It's like okay, but it changed. It just changes your life. And
what's worse, Brent, than failing at something that you've always wanted to do all your life?
Never trying.
Nope. Failing at something that you hate.
Oh, that's a big one too.
So if you don't follow your dream,
that's
okay, man. But if you have to do this to support something, or you have to do this for money, and you fail at that sucks. That really sucks. Yeah. So people out there, failing at your dreams is not really failing. It's taking the first step.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Just simple. I want to do this. Here's what it looks like at the end. Have a few beer in between and a coffee to wake you up, right?
A few, like many.
Dude, I can't do 2 cups of coffee anymore. I'm getting headaches.
Uh-oh. You're
drinking
the wrong coffee. You're drinking the wrong coffee.
Dude, I don't know. Seriously? No, is that true?
Do that. Well, shit coffee, Chris, will yes. And I'm not saying you're drinking. It's okay. I'm just saying, but you're fresh, like it's fine, but I won't get into the minutia, but like
it's a long story.
when you grab a bean and you grind it and you make it right there on the spot,
right?
Buying those beans that were packaged and need to be used by.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It's I'm getting headaches after the second cup now.
Usually you get them from lack of caffeine. People normally get it from lack of caffeine.
See, and I never get headaches, dude. I'm like one of those guys that just never gets headaches. And for the past week, headaches.
Yeah.
And it's not COVID.
No,
it's not.
This was a fun show today, man.
Wow, we did it, huh? That's why I was joking on my Facebook page. Think I can talk for 2 hours?
Oh yeah. No we got a lot of things to talk about. Well, I mean, having the guys on. So a couple of things that we need to do. So number one, huge thanks to our friends in the Salads, Dusty, Darren, Chuck, Darren Pfeiffer for coming on and talking about 15 years.
He's a funny dude. Oh my God. That guy's funny.
They're all hilarious and pulling jokes off. And as I said, Mr. D's the only guy, when you speak to him, he sounds exactly like how he sings. It's just a funny thing. So anyways, the big picture, one of my favorite records, go back and try to find it, guys. There's a song on there. There's so many great songs, but there's a song on there called Circles that they were alluding to. That's fantastic. And it's on my
It's great summertime or springtime music, right? Like summer, like I love pop punk when I'm barbecuing, man. Just crank it in the backyard and do it. I don't care if you're barbecuing veggies or barbecuing meat.
It's a heavy record. So huge thanks to them. Okay. Number two, we got to go to have a listen. Thanks for coming on the show, Gibby. Awesome.
Gibby.
To come on here. We were talking obviously Leafs and Canadians. You're gonna see more of them on the Dean Blundell Playoff Pricks. It starts on Thursday, which is basically all the guys and all the hockey guys from the network and girls from the network are gonna come on and give their 2 cents. But we beat you to it. So we did it all tonight.
We did. The nerds win.
The nerds win today.
Take note, ladies. The nerds
Mikey,
win.
Big thanks to Mike for coming on again, as always, showing off his Leaf belt and tagging in.
It's always great to talk to Mike.
And Jeff, and definitely having you in on that side of it. So a big, huge thanks to our friends over at Blue Microphones. They sponsored the Journey for Java, the Brenton On Tour, and the Kids on the Escalator podcast.
Holy crap.
This whole stuff. We have got the Mix-Fi headphones, the Blue Yeti X. Awesome stuff. That's here. And you probably saw that Gibby from Have a Listen was on it. They sponsored the Dean Blundell Network. So huge thanks to those guys for that. We'll run that promo as we're leaving the show here. Yeah, dude, that was a blast. So we got don't know what's on store for next week. We got lots to.
There's always
It is
something
the
to talk
long
about.
weekend. It's a long weekend coming up for May long weekend. Any plans over there or what?
Long weekend. Oh, it's always a long weekend here. I just work in the. I love my yard. You know how I am, Brent. Like my grass, I get down there and pick the bad weeds out, and the dandelions and all that stuff. And in my backyard, we just started a normal garden. I do have my cannabis plants, my medical cannabis plants, and I do have. Wow, we got like cucumbers and the wife likes and the daughter like asparagus, so that's in there. I won't be eating those. They can eat all that. Snow peas, you know what I mean? Like the veggie garden and fruit garden going. So I spent 3 days out there, man, and it was beautiful. But whoa, was I paying for it after? Getting old and feeling the sun, huh? It's just like my muscles, like my brain's fine. It's like, oh wow, but my muscles and everything was just like, oh my gosh, felt like I hit by a truck. And then the next day was the body's fine and the brain's gone.
I'll be camping this weekend, so there we go.
Oh yeah, you're going camping again?
Oh, I got like 9 trips planned this week, this summer.
Great.
So yeah, we're gonna do
Excellent.
lots. We're gonna do that in the mountains. So that's gonna be a blast. Leaving with some thoughts. 4 years since the passing of Cornell. Anything that you want to add to the mix there on Cornell Soundgarden?
Geez, you kidding? You popped that on me too late. I don't know,
yeah.
man. That's like wow. What can you say about Chris Cornell? Like in 2 seconds here. Wow. Yeah.
I mean.
No. Temple of the Dog was one of my favorite things he's done personally.
So let me go with that scene then for a minute. Let me go that scene for a second. You've got Pearl Jam Soundgarden, obviously Mother Love Bone at Pearl Jam formed out of that, but you've got Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Mother Love Bone, Nirvana, all coming out of that scene at the time. Yes. Where do you stand?
What do you mean? Which one do I like the best?
Of those bands and of that time and
well, grunge, yeah, that's our era. I posted a funny thing about Gen Xers. Yeah, well, we gave you grunge.
That's right. Where do you stand? Are you I love Cornell a lot.
Yeah, I loved it all. There was nothing that I didn't like about it. I found some of it, like Mudhoney was a little too noisy for me, I guess. Because some of it didn't really have the talent that others of it has. Not saying that Mudhoney doesn't have talent, but I wasn't a huge Mudhoney fan. I respect them. I dug them. And there's bands like the Melvins that come out. They're a little rougher too, but they were great. But I really love that scene. How can you not love a scene you're a part of too? You know what I mean? Like being a part of that whole grunge thing was really neat, man. But of course, Cobain, he changed. If you were a musician in that era, he changed your life. And if he didn't, you weren't paying attention, right? You know what I mean?
Well, it's 4 years since the passing of Cornell, so he'll be missed. That has been the Kids on the Escalator podcast.
Yeah, good
for
one
another
too.
Another Tuesday. Thank you all for joining us on the chat. Everyone that joined in today, Danny, Paula, Michelle, amazing. Adam, great. Thanks.
Pam DePie.
Lonnie Machete, thanks for weighing in. Everybody,
Cross,
thanks for coming in there. It was really, really great. We'll see you all next week, my friends. And until then, good times.
Brad dudes. Good night, folks.